Okay. I hear the pings of people trying to contact me on the Discord because of something Ron related.
I got you, homie.
That's right, let's get into this bitch. So for those of you that are unaware, over on Void Interactive's Twitter, they released a new statement saying, in addition to the latest newsletter, the alpha has been updated with new weapons, new G19, suppressed, unsuppressed SFX, new flashbang animations, a new single-player co-op map club. Ooh. I have to wonder if that's actually going to be an addition or they're going to take away a map. Just curious, I should really ask that. What if the next update breaks and we lose everything? Oh, just curious, I should probably ask that. New PvP. The block? Is that a mode or is that a map? Maybe that's the name of a villain, or maybe that's just the name of a literal block. I'm a little confused with that. But moving on, 2 new game modes. There's already been quite a bit of game modes in the alpha itself, but it's nice to see that there's more. They actually list them off in the picture down below. One is called Firefight and one is called Tug of War. I have no idea what either of these mean, but hopefully I will know more in the newsletter that we get to. Quick throw grenade option added. Nice. I didn't even know that there wasn't a quick throw. But then again, I hardly ever use that particular thing. Nice. These are some very cool pictures that they have attached to it of a paramilitary guy and a SWAT guy both looking at each other menacingly while they hold freaking paintball guns. Which actually, the paintball guns look different compared to each other's. Yeah. I think these are 2 different paintball guns. And with the other picture, it's SWAT guys walking into... Is this like developer texture? Is that what that is? It doesn't look like a familiar map that I know. Actually, I see some shadows in the background. Is that is this like a literal tug of war where we have freaking SWAT guys on this side and bad guys on the other side and they're literally... Nah, no way. Alright, moving on. On to the newsletter. This newsletter actually seems kind of shorter than the last one, but I don't know, let's see. The team at Void Interactive continues to work feverishly on the next wave of updates to the alpha, as well as the root game. As the journey progresses, we continue to face challenges and complexities of building such an ambitious title, and thank all of our supporters for the feedback on what you have seen so far. This entire part basically explains what the purpose of the alpha is and what it is. The purpose of the alpha is to get feedback from the community on how things should work and what unseen bugs should be fixed. The alpha itself is not representative of the final product because there are still features that are not featured in the alpha and things keep changing and cycling out. That's basically the gist of this. It's something that subscribers on my channel already know very well at this point, but to the people that don't follow my channel, don't ring the goddamn bell, or YouTube keeps hiding me, it's helpful for those other people that are unaware to Ron's existence. Moving on. The new AI system will dictate the behaviors and actions that AI characters take. As confirmed by both alpha feedback and vetting against our internal standards, the current AI can be tough at times, but is not reflecting the dynamic behaviors required to make it a more fun and realistic tactical experience. The new AI system will deliver better AI behaviors and reactions that will smartly adapt to the player's inputs and environmental conditions. This level of change has involved hundreds of hours of development time. The creation of the new gameplay systems for interacting with AI and additional voice systems. The new animation system is directly correlated to the new AI system and will breathe a new dynamic into the game, with the hiring of 2 new resources to accelerate the cleanup and integration of previously recorded character motions. This will allow us to move away from the generic motions to more customized motions, created for specific gameplay scenarios. What do they mean by hiring 2 new resources? Does that mean that they hired 2 new people to help with motion capture? Is that what I'm taking away from this? Maybe. Let me know down in the comments if you know what this means. I really want to know. Sounds interesting. Moving on. These 2 new systems are in the works and are slated to release in the next few months, so you will not see them until the October build release. While we would like to show you a sneak peek, we cannot because the 2 systems are highly interrelated. I almost had a brain fart there. It cannot be released independently. What you will see in this release are 2 new blockout levels and 2 experimental game modes for testing as follows. And then they explain what a blockout level is. Blockout level, an early stage of the level design and environmental creation. A blockout utilizes a primitive geometric shapes to block in level designs, game environments, and game art assets, and is designed to test size, scale, and gameplay. So it's basically, how do I explain it? It's a developer room, basically, where I think there isn't anything really there, like it's just a bunch of blocks. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just a very in-room, in-house, I don't know how to explain it. A dev testing map? At least At least that's what I think it is. If you think I'm wrong, tell me down in the comments. Let me know. That all being said, let's move on. New alpha level blockouts. One of them is called Club. A horrific crime has occurred in a crowded nightclub. A brutal attack that sadly results in a high body count. The SWAT team must make their way through the club and protect any civilians still alive, as well as capture the cowardly perpetrators. I have to wonder if the club is the anal staircase, because I can't think of anything else that would be that. I mean, they could have obviously maps that they haven't shown us yet, but I feel like the club and the anal staircase are one and the same, but I could be wrong. I mean, they did say that the anal staircase wasn't going to be featured in the alpha, like at all. That was a while ago though. And Void is known to change their minds, so who really knows? Moving on. The Block Experimental. An urban combat simulator set up by the force to train for civil unrest scenarios and escort missions. Oh snap, they're actually gonna say what levels are in the alpha? That's interesting. So yeah, here, levels already in the alpha. Gas station. As the location of a standoff, hostages have been taken, where some petty criminals hit up their local 4U gas station, running low on funds, and desperate for a supply of narcotics. They boldly entered a neighborhood 4U gas station pumped with adrenaline and without casing the joint, causing panic and surprise when encountering civilians. Casing the joint? I guess they mean scouting it out before they decided to push in? I'm guessing that's what that means? But yeah, if anybody has ever actually seen the trailer, those guys with like the hoodies on, those are the guys that are robbing the gas station. The next one is Hotel. A downtown hotel becomes the location of criminal activity gone very wrong. No one would have expected that this once glamorous downtown hotel would be the backdrop of a brutal battle between a domestic biker gang and an emerging cartel. Oh. Okay, so that's what's going on there. I don't remember if these descriptions were in the alpha already or not. I didn't mean to say that unironically. I don't remember seeing these descriptions though. So in the hotel, the only people that I've actually seen in the hotel so far is just the cartel. But it wasn't until I saw the dev blog that I noticed that there was actually, you know, a white skinhead looking dude. So that actually makes sense. I mean, I had a feeling that's what it was. Like two gangs that were fighting over each other. The white supremacist and the cartel are fighting for that area, I guess, to launder money or something, I'm guessing. But yeah, let's move on. Port. Police have made a breakthrough on an enigmatic criminal case, which requires cross-agency collaboration to investigate the city's port. Unsure of what they find, the SWAT team is sent into the sector of the port to raid a suspect building. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, port is essentially the shipping crate area. And if you look on their website, you'll notice that there's a bunch of FBI HRT guys walking into that area. When they say a joint effort, they mean, you know, FBI and SWAT team, because, you know, they want obviously the local, you know, people there, but FBI is getting involved because, you know, it's something that might be foreign to them, you know, if that makes any sense. But as we can see from the trailers, the port is going to have, you know, shipping containers that are full of people, probably women and children in particular, in those shipping crates, or as it's commonly known, human trafficking. So that's going to be interesting to know the story behind that. I mean, I guess that's already the gist of it, but yeah, let's move on. Police station. Kill house only. Tactical training center. So that's interesting that they decided to, you know, tell all the maps that are actually in the alpha thus far. My understanding is that they want to have around, I think it was at least 10 to 15, I think it was, or something like that. Maybe, I think it was just 10. But yeah, let's move on, huh? This is the part where they talk about the new experimental game modes for the alpha. The first one is Firefight. 2 equally sized teams of 1 to 4 players per side go head to head in a best of 5 match with randomized loadouts and 1 life per player. Each player has a predetermined loadout that corresponds with the player on the other team. Firefight will be playable in Kill House, Port, and Hotel. Also, I forgot to mention that there are 2 versions to each map. There's a single player co-op map and there's also the PvP map. Like, they're both in the same area, but they're switched out slightly. You know, it compensates for the PvP, if that makes any sense. So like, really there's only like 10 maps, but really there's like 20 because they're switched specifically so that they can reuse the same map, but they look different and feel different, you know. Yeah, maybe when I'm able to show it off, I'll show the differences. So yeah, this kind of sounds like a mode that's from Rainbow Six Siege. Like, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what this is, but I don't know. I mean, I don't mind that it's here. I just have to see how good it's gonna be. I wonder how it's gonna work in this type of setting, because you're not really breaking into a house. You're more just, I mean, I guess you kind of are. Well, not really, because the map is way more open than fun Rainbow Six Siege's map would be. You're not like breaking into like a house. You're fighting on the field and going around corners and stuff like that. So I don't know. It could be interesting. We'll have to see. Well, I'll have to see. You guys can't really see it unless you're in the alpha. But moving on, the next one is Tug of War. This PvP mode pits two teams aiming to toggle a certainly located flag on a mechanized conveyor to an endpoint on each side, where the first team to achieve the goal will be crowned the winner. This mode will be playable in the kill house. Not sure I understood this. This PvP mode pits two teams together aiming to toggle a centrally located flag. Okay. So I think what this is there's like a flag in the middle, and it sounds like a Halo mission to me. Like you're trying to like capture the flag and bring it back to your base. I think that's what it is. Yeah, right here. Conveyor to endpoint on each other's side. So that's what it kind of sounds like. It sounds like a Halo match to me. All right, we'll have to see how that goes, but it sounds kind of cool. So these two modes are an interesting choice that Void Interactive is going to try to implement into the game. I'm definitely not against them, but we'll have to see how it looks. They sound fun. I'll be honest, they sound fun. But let's move on from that, huh? So basically here they want to refine the alpha. Obviously they say that here. It says, aside from additional blockouts and experimental modes, you will note an improvement to the grenade throwing feature and better fluidity of pacing of combat, and ultimately for a greater enjoyment. Now by default, pressing G will quickly lob your selected grenade at your intended target. The classical grenade throw method will still be accessible through key bindings. Continuing the areas of focus, they basically say everything that they said in the previous one, which I don't know if it's actually improved because I haven't really been trying out the alpha that much lately, but it seems like they just regurgitated what they said previously. Oh, actually this bottom one right here. Further developing additional game modes and mini game modes, i.e. lockpicking to add more depth and entertaining to the overall experience. Yeah, I don't know. I tried that and I really don't like it. Like, I just feel like it's unnecessary. I don't know how much I can really talk about this, but yeah, that's pretty much everything that has to do with this newsletter. If you're someone that would like to actually receive these newsletters, they now made it so that you can actually receive them. So all you got to do is go over to their website, scroll down to the bottom, type in your email, and you should be able to receive these newsletters. And that's basically it. What are your thoughts on the newsletter? Did you think it was informative? It's definitely shorter than the previous one that I did. But yeah, I want to really thank my patrons for helping me out, giving me the funding so that I could go out and get myself new parts so I can repair my PC. I ended up getting a new liquid CPU cooler because the previous one got pierced and dripped over the graphics card. But the cooler that I bought ended up being too big for my rig. So I said, fuck it, I'm getting a bigger box and possibly a new graphics card. We are in the process of trying to salvage it, but if not, then thanks to my amazing patrons, I have the funding to get a new one, which might be the move. If you want to support this channel, check out my Patreon. Send me $2 a month. Or if you really want to invest in it, look at NordVPN. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it. If you're new, subscribe, ding the bell, and for the love of goodness sake, share it. YouTube is always cutting me off from reality. And that's all I really gotta say about that. I want to thank everybody for coming out to watch, and I guess I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.